At the time of this review, Halo 5 Guardians just had the biggest launch in the franchise history. Something to celebrate and be proud of, for sure. It may be the biggest launch in Halo history, but is it the best Halo we've ever had? It hurts me deep in my squishy fanboy heart, but it just isn't. Before you close this review, just hear me out. I'm going to start with the problems I have with Halo 5, and they have nothing at all to do with how it plays. It is safe to assume that most people know the story of Halo solely based from what the games have provided. The content that exists in the extended universe and its lore are largely not in the core consciousness of the vast majority of players in the mainline games. This is Halo 5's biggest weakness. There is a lot coming into Halo 5 that seems to expect players to know what is going on and who these new characters are without much exposition at all. 4 games previously, we are used to Master Chief being the sole journeyman of this story, then suddenly Spartans are everywhere and Chief has some besties with him. As refreshing as it is to start getting more of the extended Halo lore into these games, as Halo 4 started to do, it wouldn't hurt to spoon feed this stuff to us. Just a little. Often attempts at backstory are given throwaway lines or vague dialogue that don't really shed much more light at all. I can't give specific examples without spoiling anything either. One main plot element of Halo 5 really got a strong reaction from me on how a favourite character is now being utilised. Yet as a fan thinking about it, it seems to be the next logical step for that character. I just wish it wasn't so. I digress. Besides the issue I take with the story, my strongest complaint with Halo 5 is that you play as Master Chief a total of 3 missions. The other 12 you're controlling Spartan Locke. Not even kidding. I kept finding myself finishing a Locke mission and believing the next will be with Chief, just to follow on into another Locke mission. This just reeks of the divisive Halo 2 scenario between a shared story with Chief and Arbiter, which also was a middle game in a trilogy, much like how Halo 5 feels. Spartan Locke and Team Osiris are cool and all, I guess. Well, just Buck really, and his many standout character moments.
You will be long forgotten.
Well, crap!
I never felt invested in Team Osiris at all. The mission to take Master Chief in is never quite elaborated on to understand his end mission. Locke is just doing his job, and that's it. Whereas Master Chief and Blue Team even get more of the short straw as you barely see them most of the game. I have no idea who Blue Team are and what the hell Chief is doing besides wanting to find Cortana. I'm still reeling from the conclusion to Halo 4 and how Chief lost his friend, or the woman he loved, AI or not. I would have loved to have seen more of Chief's journey to try find Cortana after finding out she's still out there. It would have carried so much more emotional impact. Instead, we have to follow a team for hire, run a galactic race to catch the main man. This also makes some of the big reveal moments of the game feel so jarring, seeing it unfold for the most part through Locke's eyes. Oh, surprise cliffhangers! You've been warned. I know it sounds like a lot to take issue with this campaign. True, however, I feel that 343 are giving us the strongest sense of the Halo universe being something real and full of lore that the first 3 games lacked. I prefer the idea of Master Chief being the only Spartan left, the sole saviour of mankind. If they wish to expand the franchise and to bring us more Halo for years to come, then I'll have to get used to the change of direction this series is taking. All of my issues aside, I really did enjoy this campaign. But Chunt, you just spent the majority of this review pointing out all the issues of the story you had, I hear you say. Yes, I did. However, it triggered reactions in me and got me invested. I completed the campaign in 2 sessions, roughly 10 hours total, as I couldn't put it down. It was so enjoyable. To me, that's a sign of a successful game and story. The locations we're taken to are varied and interesting. We are welcomed by so many beautiful landscapes and environments that I found myself often just stopping to take in the sights. This new engine is so pretty and a pleasure to play in. Halo 5 also runs at an impressive 60 frames per second, and after picking up the controller and playing the first few minutes, it just feels so right. I had my reservations going into the new movement abilities and speeding up the combat overall, but it still felt so much like Halo that I almost instantly adjusted and was in the thick of it all. It was such a relief personally, as this is the only first-person shooter I'm remotely interested in playing. I love me some Halo. Each mission has been built with co-op in mind. There are multiple paths you can take in each level, with different weapons and vantage points to be found. The verticality in Halo 5 is a new change for more close combat and less open sandbox levels that Halo games have had in the past. How's the multiplayer? Very good, I must say. This feels like everything that felt great about Halo, just brought up to modern day standards. We can't be stuck in Halo 2 forever. The new movement abilities and controls lend so well to Halo's DNA and makes it brand new and exciting. A lot like playing Halo for the first time after all these years. Aim down sights are in, but you can still fire from the hip for the same effect. Aim down sights when used in mid-air grants you a temporary hover mode for more precise aiming, but you're a free target for everyone else. Boosting around in all directions definitely lends to getting out of hot gunfights easier, or just needing that extra power to make that jump. Then the always forever satisfying ground pound. If you can manage to land that on an opponent before getting taken out of the air, you just feel like getting owned for the rest of the match is all worth it. Arena matches are tight and quick. They hold most of your traditional competitive modes and maps, like Slayer, Capture the Flag and more. Warzone is the big draw this time around. In Warzone, you'll find yourself or your team on massive maps that contain multiple objectives. Your team needs to reach 1000 points to win. There is more than one way to accrue these points. You can tally up kills from AI players, actual players, in-game bosses, or taking over vantage points. This means that every game can turn on its head at any time. The bigger the risk, the more points you get. It's a very well balanced game mode, and one I can see myself coming back to all the time. The rack packs you can earn in-game starts to introduce more of a MOBA type mechanic, where you can use different level resources during a match that escalates gradually over time, depending on what wrecks you have available. Personally, I can't see myself delving into these too often. Call me old-fashioned, I'm just happy to play with what I have. So overall, am I really happy with Halo 5? There is a great deal to love here. Maybe I'm just suffering from high expectations and not getting the campaign I think we were going to get. I would have preferred some of the story gaps filled in more sufficiently. Too much lock, not enough cheek. I am excited for the next installment as there is a killer of a cliffhanger. The campaign is highly replayable, especially for co-op centric ventures. The multiplayer is some of the best available right now. I hope it takes off and sees players return Halo back to its heyday. This is a must-have Xbox One title, regardless if you've played Halo before or not.
All clear. Commander Palmer, we have the constructor. Ready for extraction.